Thank you very much. Also from the north, from the province of Quebec, where I can say myself and many others of us who are from Rhode Island, where our families, we trace our roots back to a community in the province of Quebec. We're very pleased to have the interim delegate of Quebec in New England, Ms. Marianne Bonnard.
Monsieur Bégin, Monsieur le consul honoraire, chers collègues, Messieurs les sénateurs, Messieurs les représentants, Mesdames et Messieurs, bonjour. C'est un vrai honneur pour moi d'être ici au sein du Statehouse. C'est un honneur et pour tous les francophones d'être ainsi reconnus officiellement par un État dont la langue officielle est tout autre. Et merci beaucoup pour cela. C'est assez exceptionnel et je crois que ça doit être souligné. For those who don't speak French, I was underlining how amazing it is that the French language gets such an honor to be presented here today and honored while actually French isn't an official language here in Rhode Island. So thank you, because I believe this needs to be underlined. It's exceptional and it doesn't happen everywhere. Obviously it does happen here because we have a special history with the French language that we all share. That's been underlined already, so I won't repeat what has been said. I will just bring your attention to the flag of the Francophonie. It's actually about linking people together. It's actually about linking countries, about linking cultures together, about linking people together. And the Francophonie, especially for Quebec and New England and Rhode Island, is about bringing families together. You've underlined it. Many Rhode Islanders have actually families in many Francophone countries, and the first of it is the Quebec in Canada. When I speak to Rhode Islanders, many of them recall their historical families, and in the 1900s, 1 million Quebecers came down, back then Franco-Canadians, they were not called Quebecers then. And so today this is a reality, and Woonsocket is not anymore the most French-speaking city in the US, but you can see still Bienvenue sign when you come into downtown Woonsocket. And I was there just 2 weeks ago participating to the Ciné Québec event we were organizing together with the Woonsocket Museum for Work and Culture, Flickers, the Rhode Island International Film Festival, and the Alliance Française. We actually showed a film which name is Louis Cyr. This is a most recent film in Quebec that got also a lot of success. And what is the story of Louis Cyr? Louis Cyr is a story of a Franco-Canadian, Franco-American young man who lived in New England and became the strongest man on earth, and his records are still unbeaten. And where did his strength come from? His strengths come from his will to get out of his social condition, to fight, and to be proud of his heritage. So this is a strong message that I would like to deliver here to you and underline the strengths of these Franco-Americans who managed to make a success here in Rhode Island, to manage to build this amazing room, as Thierry mentioned, and who actually managed they lived the American dream, and they realized the American dream. And all of you who have Franco-American families and roots, you should be very proud of this. I know it hasn't always been the case, but now we can be proud of it. We can be proud of speaking French, and Fabien underlined why it's already an asset to speak French. So let's speak French again. Je n'ai pas beaucoup parlé français dans cette allocution, mais je sais que certains d'entre vous ici ne le parlent pas. Je voulais simplement vous dire que pour continuer à porter cette fierté-là, le gouvernement du Québec a décidé d'investir dans le soutien aux organisations francophones du Rhode Island, dans ces Franco-Américains, dans ces Québécois aussi qui habitent ici en Nouvelle-Angleterre, ceux du passé, pour continuer à promouvoir leur héritage, ceux d'aujourd'hui. Je tiens à mentionner la présence d'Anne Conway qui continue cet héritage aujourd'hui, et ceux de l'avenir, les jeunes qui sont avec nous aujourd'hui et qui vont chanter pour nous tout à l'heure. Donc merci à tous, thank you, and vive le français.
Thank you very much. As I was listening to Marianne, I was thinking, you know, in Woonsocket, where half of the names in Woonsocket, if it's not Cody or Pickard, about half the names are Cody or Pickard, but there are not many Bégins. And I can remember the first time I was in Quebec City and at the Chateau Frontenac, and I'm looking over the river at the town of Lévis, where my family's from. And I went to the phone book, and I remember seeing page after page after page. I said, this must be home, and that's what it is. That's Next, I am very pleased to introduce my friend Michel Ibert. How's that? I'm getting better at that, right? But Michel has been here each year, and he's the president of the American Association of Teachers of French, which is an outstanding organization. They're the ones who are out there day in and day out in front of the classroom and not only teaching the language, but encouraging the speaking of the language. And Michel and his colleagues do a wonderful job. And he's also the representative of the League of Francophonie Organizations of Rhode Island. Michel?
Bonjour les francophones, les francophiles, Monsieur Bégin, nos invités distingués, Monsieur le consul général de France, Madame la déléguée du Québec, Monsieur le consul commercial principal du Canada, Madame le lieutenant gouverneur du Rhode Island, Messieurs les sénateurs, Messieurs les représentants du Rhode Island, bonjour. De la part de l'Association américaine des professeurs de français, je vous souhaite vous tous une bonne fête de la francophonie. I'm honored to be here in this beautiful stateroom of the Rhode Island Capitol to join you in the celebrations that are taking part all across the world. I represent the American Association of Teachers of French, the AATF, here in Rhode Island, whose mission is to promote the study of the French language and the many French-speaking cultures around the world in American classrooms. I'm also here today on behalf of the League of French-Speaking Organizations of Rhode Island, and I have the task of introducing my colleagues that have worked diligently to organize Rhode Island's participation in the Francophonie celebrations. And I'd like to introduce Anne Conway, Director of the Museum of Working Culture in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. From the French American School of Rhode Island, its Director of Extracurricular Activities, Anne Lacoste-Capstein. Also, we have the director of the school itself from the French American School, Madame Vélocité. From the Alliance Française de Providence, its president, Dominique Grégoire. As well as its executive director, Flavien Collet. And finally, from the Rhode Island International Film Festival, which recently held a wonderful French language film festival, Sean Quirk. The French language has the distinction, along with English, to be spoken on all continents and in all its varieties by an estimated 220 million people around the world, and this figure is growing significantly. These facts are worth noting in this age of globalization. One studies French because it is a language of business and diplomacy, for example, the United Nations, of medicine, Médecins Sans Frontières, Doctors Without Borders, but also of culture, of travel, literature, of course, film, music, and of sport. We can say the Olympics, among other reasons that shape our world in the 21st century. It is for this reason, among others, that the AATF believes that it is very important for Rhode Island students to continue to be exposed to the study of the language and the many Francophone cultures around the world, what we teachers call biliteracy and cultural literacy. To exemplify the teaching of French in Rhode Island schools, I'll be inviting two educators who will be presenting to you today. The first comes from the French American School. Would you please welcome Ms. Anne Lacoste-Capstein.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for coming. FASRI's mission is learning through language, and for 20 years, FASRI has had the privilege and honor of educating new generations in French language. Our students come to our school not only to gain an education in French, but leave the school as a citizen of the world belonging to a community of over 200 million people. This privilege is an amazing asset and gift that we are very proud to be a part of. Presently, we are showing a small video of how we do that at the French American School. Thank you.
Our second presentation is coordinated by one of my colleagues from the AATF. She is our Education and Social Coordinator, and she has brought along with her some students from her classes at Coventry High School. Please welcome Cynthia Texera. Apparently she's brought a friend.
Il est francophone, alors c'est pas grave. Alors, en fait, bonjour tout le monde. Nous sommes là pour justement pour bien la raison nous sommes tous là, c'est le futur du français. Donc, comme professeur, c'est notre travail justement de continuer le français et d'être enthousiaste de parler la langue française. So, like I just said, we're here to represent the future of French speakers. I have brought my French students, a few of my French students, some of them foreign exchange students, some of them, well, most of them are my students, yeah. I'll introduce them a little bit in just a moment. So, they're going to do a little poem. It's slam poetry, you might be familiar with it. It's an extrait of slam poetry by Grand Corps Malade called Du bout du monde. And we also have a student, her name is Leanne Gear, who is going to sing a song for you. And the song that she's going to sing is Quand les hommes vivront d'amour, which is great because it is a song that was written by a Québécois, and it was written in 1956 while he was living in Paris. So it kind of integrates the two largest countries that speak French in the world. So I'm going to introduce them as they come out. So our first student is Andrew Lecampion. Andrew is in 12th grade. Et il est d'origine française. Son papa est français et maman américaine. Deuxième génération. Then we have Justin Majot, who is American, and I taught him everything he knows. So, so his accent is grâce à moi. We have Katharina Ullman. She is in 10th grade, and she is our German foreign exchange student from Bremen, Germany. Melissa Fraser, she's in 10th grade as well. And elle est d'origine acadienne, so maman est ici, qui parle français aussi. And we have Marie Terranova, who is another foreign exchange student from France, and she's an exchange here from Paris. So they're going to do a poem, and Leanne Gear, come on down as well. She's going to sing a song after their poem, Quand les hommes vivront d'amour. And she is in 11th grade, and I also taught her everything she knows. Welcome, enjoy.
J'ai commencé à observer les territoires les plus classiques, le tableau noir des facultés au discours très académique. J'ai entendu le cri d'une parole qui s'endort dans des débats soporifiques, des conférences, des galeries d'art et même des visites guidées au cœur de quartiers historiques.
J'ai commencé ma quête en questionnant mon voisin de palier. Il est tellement vieux qu'un bout de cette histoire, il est forcément lié. Il m'a conseillé d'enquêter dans un petit village montagnard, mais les gens que j'ai croisés là-bas avaient étrangement perdu la mémoire.
Sur mon itinéraire, j'avais quelques antiquaires. Je n'y avais trouvé que des mots en vieux français et des paroles pleines de poussière. J'ai rencontré 2-3 coiffeurs et leurs récits légendaires. À la rançon, j'ai tout compris de la théorie de la pesanteur. J'ai donc pris de la hauteur, j'ai fait pas mal d'allers-retours. J'ai été rapide au plan de lenteur, mais la durée de mon parcours s'étale sur le Maghreb et ses contours jusqu'aux tavernes de Singapour, des tribus nomades d'orateurs au temple de Kuala Lumpur. J'ai vu des mots d'absence, des mots laissés sur une porte et même des mots d'amour. J'ai parfois pris le mauvais sens et plus j'ai fait la connaissance des nouveaux troubadours.
J'ai vu des mots tendres, j'ai vu des mots d'excuses, j'ai vu des gros mots. J'ai vu des mots à prendre, des mots qui accusent, et même des mots en trop. J'ai vu des mots passants, j'ai vu des mots vexants, j'ai vu des mots tranchants comme un pieu. J'ai vu des mots qui mobilisent, des mots sans mobile et même des mots creux. J'ai vu des mots Ahmed, j'ai vu des mots reset. J'ai surtout vu que j'avais fait ce voyage pour rien. J'ai vu de mauvais mots, j'ai vu de bons moments, et que finalement, la source n'était pas si loin.
Cette histoire, c'est la tienne, c'est la mienne, et c'est le bien réel. Cette histoire du langage universel est faite qu'elle soit éternelle. Joyeuse journée internationale de la francophonie.
Quand les hommes vivront d'amour, il n'y aura plus de misère et commenceront les beaux jours. Mais nous serons mon frère. Quand les hommes vivront d'amour, ça sera la paix sur la terre. Les soldats seront troubadours. Mais nous serons mon frère. Dans le grand champ de la vie, où il fallait que nous passions, où il fallait que nous soyons, nous errons la mauvaise perdue. Quand les hommes vivront d'amour, il n'y aura plus de misère et commenceront les beaux jours. Mais nous serons mon frère. Dans le grand champ de la vie, pour qu'il y ait très meilleur temps, pour qu'il y ait très meilleur temps, nous errons la mauvaise perdue. Quand les hommes vivront d'amour, il n'y aura plus de misère et commenceront les beaux jours. Mais nous serons mon frère. Mais quand les hommes vivront d'amour, il n'y aura plus de misère et commenceront les beaux jours. Mais nous serons mon frère.
I think we can all agree that was quite impressive, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you to the French American School of Rhode Island and Madame Texera and her students. Thank you very much. And for all of you, bonne fête de la francophonie. Au revoir. Merci.
I'm sure you agree with me that hearing the voices and the words of these students certainly gives us a great deal to feel optimistic about in terms of the future of our state and the future of the language. And thank you all very much, and wonderful job for all the leadership that you provide, and all the teachers of French in the state. Thank you all very much. Before we conclude, I do want to just recognize a couple of other people here. We always find that we have all these distinguished guests who are here at these events, and it's always a treat to be able to have everybody assembled and to recognize them. And my friend Trudy Lamadou is here from the Club Richelieu, and thank you so much for being here and all that you do in promoting the French language. And from the Rhode Island Historical Society. I think some people may not remember that the Museum of Work and Culture is a part of the Rhode Island Historical Society that I've had the privilege of being long associated with, and Morgan Greff, who is the executive director, is here. I want to thank Morgan as well. So to all of you, thank you all very much for your attendance here today. Two announcements. One is that when we leave here in a couple of moments, we will be going into the House chamber, where I would invite all of you to join us. There'll be room in the gallery, both the North and South Gallery of the House chamber, to welcome you there, because Fabienne Fieschi, our Consul General, is going to be saying a few words, and we'll have a chance to welcome him. Also, at the conclusion of that program, there will be a group that will be meeting at what's called the public kitchen at the Renaissance Hotel after the session as well. So again, to all of you, thank you very much for being here and participating in this program, and look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.